The MACPro Help Desk team welcomes your suggestions for our training and reference materials. Please contact us with your feedback and comments on this training, or if you need other MACPro assistance. You may contact us via email at macpro_helpdesk@cms.hhs.gov or by phone at 301-547-4688.
All right, we'll go ahead and begin the in-system demonstration of new user management functionality. To start off our demo, we will be going over how to add a new role, modify an existing role, and remove an existing currently approved role. All MACPro users will have these capabilities. This slide is for your future reference. Let's move into the MACPro training environment to demonstrate this functionality. User access to MACPro is managed by the CMS Enterprise Identity Management System, or EIDM for short. EIDM provides users with a single user ID for access to many CMS applications, including MACPro. An EIDM account is a secure account that allows only authorized and registered users to access protected information and systems through the CMS Enterprise portal. All MACPro users, regardless of user role, are required by CMS to have an EIDM ID. Before you start work in MACPro, please make sure you have both an active EIDM ID and an EIDM role for MACPro. If you don't yet have an EIDM ID, you may register for one in the EIDM portal online at https://portal.cms.gov. Once there, you will select New User Registration. Should you need further guidance, please view the document titled EIDM Instructions for MACPro Users found in the State Resources tab on Medicaid.gov. This document contains step-by-step instructions and screenshots to help you in the process of creating your new EIDM ID. Once you have your EIDM ID, you are ready to request a MACPro user role. A number of distinct roles have been established for CMS central and regional offices, state MACPro users, and MACPro business support users. Your requested role will determine in what capacity you may use the MACPro application. We reviewed some of the MACPro roles available to administrative users earlier in this demonstration. You may view a complete list of available MACPro roles with descriptions for states and CMS in the introductory user reference document for roles and administration posted on Medicaid.gov. Should you need it, this document provides more detail on the purpose of roles, as well as how to request, approve, or deny roles in the MACPro system. Now that you have your EIDM ID and a better understanding of MACPro roles in the system, let's take a look at how to request a role in MACPro. For this demonstration, we are working in the MACPro training environment, and all of the information you will see today is for example purposes only, to demonstrate system functionality. Images in the training environment may be different from what you see in the system based on your user role. Let's assume that we have been on a temporary detail as the Program Branch Manager for Region 7. We are now returning to our role as the Kansas State Lead, so we will need to hold the role of CMS Point of Contact, or CPOC, in MACPro. We will begin by logging in as a CMS submission review team member to walk through the steps to request a new role within MACPro and modify existing MACPro roles within the system. First, we log into MACPro and are taken to our Actions tab. Okay, we're in. Next, we select the Records tab from the upper toolbar. Within the Records tab, select the link to My User Profile and then your name. In your user profile, you will see basic information such as your first name, last name, type of MACPro user, EIDM role, user ID, email address, phone number, and Frontline Manager. Please note the Frontline Manager field applies to CMS users only. You will notice there is a table under the Approved Roles section that details our currently approved roles in MACPro. A note for CMS users: you must enter a Frontline Manager before requesting or modifying a role within MACPro. You may do so by selecting the Edit Frontline Manager button at the top of the screen. If you are a CMS user and you attempt to request or modify a role before entering your Frontline Manager, you will get a system error. The system requires CMS users to list your Frontline Manager for records purposes only. This does not have an impact on who approves your roles within MACPro. Let's move forward with requesting our new CPOC role. Under the Summary view, in the upper right corner of the screen, select the button labeled Add or Modify Roles. Alternatively, you can reach the screen by selecting the Related Actions view at the top of the screen. Then select the option to add or modify roles. To request a role, locate the Add Roles section and select the appropriate role from the Role drop-down box. In today's example, we will select the CMS Point of Contact, or CPOC. Please note that roles available for your selection are determined by your EIDM role for MACPro. For instance, if you hold the MACPro State User EIDM role, only state user roles in MACPro will be available for you to select. Once you choose a role to add, the subsequent fields Program, Component, Authority, Office Type, Region, and State are dynamic and will populate based on your selection. Today, we will make example selections for each field and ensure that all fields are complete. Notice that once we select the drop-down for Authority, there are checkbox icons next to each selection. One of the new features available in user management is the ability to select multiple attribute options at once. We can select Administration and Eligibility to request the CPOC role for both authorities at the same time. To add the role to your new role request, select the button to Add Role. If you need to add another role to your request, simply make your selections in the Add Role section and once again select the Add Role button. An important note is that once you submit a role request for one or more roles, you will not be able to request additional roles until your previously submitted request is processed. Once your requested roles are approved or denied, you will be able to request additional roles. However, it may take time for an approver to process your request. It is recommended that should you require multiple roles within MACPro, to submit all of your roles at once in a single request. Before you submit your request to your role approver, you may edit your request. If you'd like to remove a role from your request, you would select the red X next to the role. Please note, you cannot edit a pending role request. Once a role request is submitted, your role approver would simply need to deny your request on their end. Once you have finished filling out all required fields, you can check to see if your role request passes validation by selecting the button labeled Check Validation. Any validation errors will be listed below the Add Roles table. All validation errors must be fixed before you request your roles. In this example, we have duplicate requests for the CMS point of contact role. We will remove this role from our request by selecting the red X and select Check Validation again to ensure that we have fixed the error. If you do not receive any errors, you have passed validation. Let's scroll up to the Current Roles section. In the last two columns, you will see blue links labeled Modify and Remove. These are the two options available to users for managing currently approved roles in MACPro. Briefly, let's select Modify for one of our SRT roles. At the bottom of the screen, a new section appears to modify role. If you simply need to request new attributes for a currently approved role, you can make new selections and update fields as necessary. Once your new selections are made, you select the Modify Role button. For now, we will select Cancel Modification to remove this from our request. Now remember, we are leaving our temporary position as Program Branch Manager, so we need to remove our SRT roles since they are no longer needed. Let's submit our role removal request. To start, select the blue Remove link for your SRT roles. You'll see that the roles are added to the new Removal Request section at the bottom of the page. It's important to note that if an SRT has been assigned to a package review task and submits a role removal request, MACPro will send a notification to the CPOC of the package after the role removal request has been approved, so that task may be reassigned. This function is only for the SRT role. Now that we have our new CPOC roles in the new role request, and our old SRT roles in the role removal request, you may now select the blue button labeled Request to submit your request. You will receive a confirmation message asking if you are sure you want to submit these requests. The message also notes what we discussed earlier. You will not be able to request additional roles until these roles are approved or denied. Select Yes to finalize your submission. Well done! We have successfully requested our MACPro roles to be able to conduct work in the system. Your role request has now been sent to your MACPro approver. You will receive an email notification when they approve or deny your role request. You will also see an entry in your newsfeed on your MACPro homepage. Just for training purposes, let's select the Add or Modify Roles link in the upper right corner. You will immediately see a message indication that we cannot request roles. Previous requests must be closed before requesting additional roles. This also shows our pending role requests in a table for our reference.
The MACPro Help Desk team welcomes your suggestions for our training and reference materials. Please contact us with your feedback and comments on this training, or if you need other MACPro assistance. You may contact us via email at macpro_helpdesk@cms.hhs.gov or by phone at 301-547-4688.